All right, welcome to another edition of Above the Bridge podcast. This is episode 7. Shout out to our sponsor, Defend Hawaii, for always keeping me fresh. Shout out to our producer, boy band John. What's up, John? How you been? Happy birthday, by the way. So today's guest it's going to be a good episode. This is one of my best friends. He is one of my business partners for multiple ventures. We had a store together. He was my co-business owner for Artist Groove Network. Our store was called Ecosystems. Currently, he is the vice president of Defend Hawaii Clothing Company. He is my best friend. He is my daughter's godfather, Chris Meheula. What's up, Chris?
Aloha, Thaddeus.
Man, you got a lot of intros to your name. How you been, man?
I'm all right. I mean, just stressing over the holiday during COVID. I mean, it's been kind of a struggle, but we're getting through and we're still open, and hopefully this continue to open and more tiers open up, but not without worrying about everybody's safety. So
for sure. So your guys' store has been completely closed at one point, and then now you guys are reopened due to like the governor's tier factors.
Yes, we're open. We have the No One store over in Winter Mall, and we were closed for a while. I want to say like 10 weeks over the whole course of the year, and we've been open again, and we're excited to get through the year and get back to some normalcy.
Oh yeah,
hopefully.
This is a good time to have it open, like getting into the holidays. So when it was closed, did you see your internet sales like pop up?
Yeah, for sure. It boosted because people were just, I mean, overall, I think people are slowly transitioning from brick and mortar shopping to e-commerce. But we did see an increase from that time of the COVID for sure.
Oh, that's cool. Because, I mean, it's like that's the way to get your stuff, and everybody wants your guys' stuff. So Defend Hawaii, that's the brand now. Like that's your job. You're the vice president doing everything. Like, how's that been? Like from like just working retail, now you're like running all the stuff. And I did see the progression through the years of how Defend Hawaii became such a predominant source to learn about the culture. So I don't know. I know that had a lot to do with you changing things up. So how is that coming about?
I mean, just overall, I think as a business, we decided that to make a turn into some new things and kind of really be about what the name is about. And we were lucky enough to team up with the right nonprofits and build relationships with the right people and like Daniel Anthony and Sam Kapoe them, and just overall we were trying to be helpful with the community, with Hawaii Food Bank this past year. With everything going on, we jumped on with Ron Mizutani and we're doing stuff with them. And it's been, I guess, amazing, to be honest. Like just learning more about my culture, you know, like diving in and changing up the designs, and it's a wonderful feeling, and it's a cool process. Really using the brand to kind of help teach people more about who we are as people out here in Hawaii, you know.
Yeah, for sure. And I remember like seeing the brand going from one thing and just becoming more about the culture, and it's pretty cool because I mean, I got to partake in a few things. Like I got to Pompoi with my daughter, and like you guys had that going on, and you've been doing a lot of things in the community, and that's crazy to see because I've known you for a while, and it's something that you weren't really active in, and now it's like almost every week you got something going on, and as a friend, I'm proud to see that, dude. Like I'm pretty impressed.
Mahalo. I mean, it's still. I mean, there's a lot more that I should be doing, I feel. But I mean, there's a big switch from us running events every single weekend, 3 events a week. I mean, we've done probably over 1,000 parties, and then to switch it up.
Yeah.
Living in Kahalu, like, you know, farming and stuff like that it's different.
Yeah.
I got to spend some time out with Kahana Cultural Living over with with Kawe and Daniel, and they do some pretty cool stuff out there. They just teaching everyone and getting people to understand like real what Hawaii is about, rather than just the tourism that they show on Waikiki and all that stuff.
Well, that's important, and it's important for the people here to learn it. Like sometimes the youth gets caught up in other things and they don't show pride in their own culture. It's you guys are kind of bringing them back to that, so that's pretty dope.
I mean, I don't think we are, but I think we're just a brand that represents what the community is about and defending what we are out here. And we're pretty vast, different, a lot of differences. And I think the real people that are changing stuff are people under, like, behind the scenes, politicians, but we need to get the right people in there. We just had voting, and I don't know if I really agree with some of the people that got picked, but I mean, it is what it is, and we got to just still use what we can, make calls to the offices, and yeah. But the brand isn't just that. I mean, we still have our hard-hitting stuff. We're still backing all the MMA guys, all of our boys from Hybrid House to Hawaii Elite MMA, what Charles is doing out there with the boys.
Russell, shout out to Charles.
Shout out to Charles.
Yeah, he's gonna come on one night.
And the rest of the boys too. They really put Hawaii's fighters on the map, and a lot of them are getting chances, man. I mean, and we're still backing all the MMA boys, so that's always fun because that's exciting. And out here in Hawaii, that's what we're about.
We're fighting, yeah, pretty much.
So, like it's awesome to see the boys go out there and get paid for it and make it a job and be professional with it.
Well, it's cool to see because a lot of these young fighter athletes don't have a chance to get sponsored, and being that you guys do work closely with those two gyms, they kind of help you guys take care of these young fighters, and I mean, to be sponsored by Defend Hawaii is kind of a big deal if you're a young fighter coming up. At least I would think so.
I hope so. I hope everyone's proud to be rocking with a brand like us,
Well, you sponsor me, so I'm fucking proud.
Some of the boys are coming up, like Keone Diggs is killing it in Bellator. Martin and Lewis was supposed to have a fight. I'm pretty sure they're gonna get him another one. Martin's out there in UFC. The Natividad brothers are doing awesome in LFA. I think Lowen's coming back. That's gonna be exciting.
Oh, that guy's a beast.
That guy's a beast. Gotta make a comeback for Thaddeus. Kickboxing.
Oh yeah, right. I'll make a comeback.
Maybe Mike will make a comeback too. I don't know.
He probably will have a better chance. I'll come back if it was a 30-second 1-round fight and they can't hit me from the chin up.
You gotta make your podcast. You gotta do your podcast. You can't have any blemishes on the face.
Yeah. I don't think I can take a punch anymore. Anyway, that's not gonna happen. So what? You guys must be crazy now. It's holiday season, huh? So how's that going?
We're just getting prepped up for the sales. I mean, it was because everything is so different with Black Friday this year. We are trying to do things online and kind of plan a sale every single weekend. So by the time you guys see this, it's going to be sales have happened already in the store, but the Black Friday is still going to happen. There's going to be a big bunch of stuff, $12 tees, 20% off the entire store out at No One. And online, Cyber Monday, we're getting ramped up, and we're going to have specials. I think just online in general, like $12 tees online, cheap lanyards, blowout shirts, blowout board shorts, blowout hats.
So you guys store online is what? defendhawaii.com.
Shop.defendhawaii.com.
Okay, shop.defendhawaii.com.
But you can get there from defendhawaii.com as well. But shop.defendhawaii.com.
And your sales are populated through online as well. So No One is in Winter Mall, right?
Winter Mall, yes. That's our kind of our flagship. They carry the most product of Defend Hawaii over there. But then we're out in TNC. TNC is awesome, a great partner of ours. They've been carrying us for a minute. We have Razors over in Pro Ridge, Sarah's over in Ala Moana. Big Island, we have Oshima Surf and Skate. We have Oshima Surf over in Maui, foam company in Maui. We're getting, we're just trying to be as not all over the place, but really find the niches and the right stores for people to shop our brand.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, that's cool. Like honestly, online's the way to go. It's a 24-hour store worldwide, so can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, it's e-commerce is a whole another animal, man. I mean, we're still learning and trying to do our best. And I mean, if people ever want to jump on the team, Defend Hawaii, shoot me an email. We're looking for some interns and stuff.
Oh, that's a plug right there. You wanna be part of Defend Hawaii team? Hit up Chris, and he'll interview you. So, do they gotta be hot, or what's the deal?
No, that isn't bad. That isn't bad. That's not about that. We're not that brand.
That's a good thing.
We won't go that route. We won't say anything on that. We're not that brand.
So this is gonna drop Black Friday week. So Thanksgiving and Black Friday. So what's the hours? Like you're gonna like I remember when we had our ecosystem store in Waikele, like we had Thanksgiving dinner and we were like shooting to Waikele and just ready at midnight for the ruckus. Is that the same at Winter Mall, or like what's the deal? Especially now with COVID, is it gonna be crazy or?
It's I don't think we can be too crazy, but I have no idea. You know, like everyone's kind of up in the air and nobody really knows how it's gonna work. But we are gonna be closed on Thanksgiving for the first time and I don't know how long. So I might be able to have a Thanksgiving dinner.
That's honestly that should be what it's about.
I don't think I've had a Thanksgiving since 2013 when I went traveling and I had a Thanksgiving dinner in Orlando. So that's gonna be nice. That's a cool switch up. You know, like I get to be with my family on Thanksgiving and Friday we get to start the madness at 6 a.m. 6 a.m. at Winter Mall.
Okay. Oh, that's way better. For me personally, I'm not a fan of doing the Black Friday on Thanksgiving at like 8 o'clock and people are camped out. It takes away from the holiday and what Thanksgiving is being with family, and it's not become a merchandise buy at Walmart for some cheap TV. Is lost its kind of value. So I'm happy that you're not gonna be working until 6 a.m.
Yeah,
So that's kind of cool. Yeah, that's definitely cool.
I just hope I get to have some of that famous park Thanksgiving dinner. You know, like
oh yeah, you know that
salad, that cow beef
stuffing. Yep, you know how we do.
I'm excited for that right there.
Yeah, 100%. And don't forget Capoon's giving.
That's not have happened.
Yeah, for all you people who don't know, then you don't need to know.
Definitely.
Okay, so Black Friday's coming up. You guys all situated for your holidays?
We have masks. We have a whole bunch of different things online and in the store. So.
Oh, that's pretty tight.
That's brand new.
Oh, nice.
I had to throw that in there.
So you guys are dropping all new stuff for this holiday then?
Every week we have new product dropping, yeah.
Oh, man, I'm going to have to check you guys out.
Yes,
Let's see.
Everyone. Cyber Monday is going to be a whole thing too. So we're going to be, it's going to be tiered. Cyber Monday is going to be, I think, timed. We're going to do, between certain times, going to be a larger sale. A certain time and a certain time, going to be another sale. So first come, first served.
Oh, that's smart. Cyber Monday, that's a new thing now, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, there's probably even more new things. I keep slowly getting out of the loop, like Instagram and TikTok and LinkedIn, and I don't even know anymore.
You got to make some TikTok videos.
I got to come over there and do some TikTok videos with you and Aria.
Yeah, I got the light. I'm using it right now.
What light?
The little circle ring TikTok girl light.
Girls use for selfies?
That's the one. I have it. Right. You know what I was thinking? Like, I was talking to Taylor and we're trying to figure out like how, like me and him met and I know how, and then I'm trying to figure out how you and I met.
Uh,
Do you
uh,
remember?
yeah, I remember the exact evening. I think it was my brother's birthday. E&O, it was one of the events, and I think my brother turned 25 or something. And I happened to be there, and we knew who each other were because I was dating one of your employees.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Are you gonna say her name or am I?
Why, up, Tosh? How you doing?
Sup, Tosh? So Tosh was working for me at Ainokea at the Ainokea store in the mall. Shout out to Ainokea and Mark. But she was telling me about you, saying like, oh, I have my boyfriend does promotions and he's trying to get into it. You gotta meet him. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And yeah, like, and that's kind of how we met. We were at E&O's and she was there and she introduced me. Right? Is that how it went?
Yeah, yeah. That was no, she wasn't there. But
Oh,
I came up to you guys because I knew who you guys were. Like, I wanted to introduce myself. I don't know. I was all about like learning the industry, people who work in the industry, people who are part of the industry. The guys kind of really running the scene for anywhere. I think it's about doing your research and really kind of coming on confidently. So I remember actually it was February that year, and you guys were in the midweek. It was all the promoters were in the midweek. It was you guys had Micah G them, had
Vertical Junkies.
Vertical Junkies, had all the guys, and that I that I saw I would run into and looked up to, and I thought were inspirations and stuff. And I was like, I think I can do this. From during house parties, went to somebody was like, oh, let's throw a concert. So me and a couple of my friends were like, how the hell are we gonna do this? We made some phone calls. We teamed up with one of the radio stations, and Kalana Young was the one to kind of give me my start. Awesome dude. Shout out to Kalana.
Yep. Shout out to Kaulana.
Kalana and his family. They're awesome. And teamed up with Natural Vibes and did a Pipeline Cafe.
That must have been fun.
Event, like a real concert. 21 years old. 21, like 2 weeks before that happened.
And this is all you. This is your deal.
Me and a couple of my friends, yeah. And we made our own commercial. We did all that stuff. And I did the graphics for the flyer. We printed a bunch out, passed it out at all the beaches, word of mouth. Did we have cell phones back then?
Yeah, I hope so. Pagers, nah.
No, it was way after. But I mean, maybe the Nokia or the Nextel. Might have been the Nextel at the time.
Oh, Nextel.
And yeah, we did that event and it went well. And kind of from there, that's when you're like, who is this kid?
Yeah. So what happened was Tosh would tell me about you, and she said you did that event, and I know a lot of people in Kaneohe, so I would hear your name once in a while, and then I would see you at the gym. You and your brother guys are always at the gym.
Back when I used to work out.
Yep. And then you met me at E&O, and I was like, okay, this guy has a character to him. You're confident, you're like super cool. And then you started coming to my events and just having fun and just being someone that would come support. And then I had an opportunity, and this is when the ruckus starts. So the opportunity was we had a chance to do our first 18 and over party, and it was at Venus nightclub. So the owners of Venus came to us, and we kind of collaborated with Island Fire. Shout out to Ryan from Island Fire, who's now Red Label. But he brought us on, and it was going to be a 18 over party on Wednesday. Artist Group Network at the time never really did an 18 and over party, and I needed help. So I was like, okay. I talked to Peter, who was my partner at the time, and I was like, okay, Peter, let's try get this young boy on. He's kind of young, but he's hungry. He's about 21, and he's in tune with that 18 and older community, especially in Kaneohe. So I remember you're working at Skin, and I went to Skin and I asked you, I said, hey man, you want to be a part of this event? and you were like, oh yeah, that's
Oh
super
yeah.
cool, I'll be down. Yeah. And then we started Recess Wednesdays at Venus. And to me, by far, that was the most ruckus event on a weekly level that I have ever done. I don't know about you, but that was ruckus.
Yep. That was, I mean, just thinking about it, everyone that was a part of that remembers, and everybody, it was a good event. That I don't
So
even want to explain that. Like, it got to a point where you just had Ryan Wong on the podcast, and he was starting the Wednesdays over there at D&B. So like we would go to D&B's upstairs. It was old lounge, which Vertical Junkies had. We would
yeah,
go and flyer their line because they were doing really well, and then we would just drag everybody to our event until we took over.
basically what happened.
Sorry guys, I mean, but I mean, we did it a certain way, and it was successful, and I think we broke the bar sales record.
Oh yeah.
But like
I mean, I remember.
between the weekends and Wednesday, we broke it on a Wednesday.
Yeah. And our line went out to Kapilani Boulevard. Like I just remember just being like, hey Chris, go get like whoever you want from that line, bring them in because they're not going to get in for a while.
People we knew, people we didn't know, taking girls out of the line, taking them in a
Yeah.
club, dragging them away from their boyfriends, and they're leaving their boyfriends.
Oh, they'd be salty. Like, we can get you in, but he, not him.
I guess, yeah, that's. I wonder how many relationships got started or ended because of recess.
Oh, I
Or for
always
any
wanted.
party.
I always wanted to know how many kids were made because of our events. You're kind of like the Godfather. Right? Like if we think about it, how many people got married that met at our events? How many people had children that met at our events? And like that's the good stuff. Yeah.
And sometimes it was amazing. Sometimes they probably are regretted, and
Oh
they're,
yeah.
they're gonna blame you.
They can blame me. Probably everybody blames me for anything anyway. So Recess was a hit, and it was our first 18 over event, and then we started doing kind of more weekly parties throughout the weekends, which were predominantly 21 and over. And I don't know, which ones do you remember? So at the time it was just me, you, and Taylor were Artist Groove Network. So we were the three partners, and between your promoting career, that was predominantly us three, right?
Yes, yeah. Mostly us three. In the beginning, I mean, thankful to have like mentors like you and Peter, and even the partners that we were working with, like Brian Simpson, Hansen,
Oh
and
yeah.
a bunch of people that we were able to do work with, and even the bar managers, or the owners. Like it was amazing, and opportunity, and amazing to experience business like that on that level at a young age. But it was like all business until the event, and then it was just chaos.
Ruckus.
I don't
Well,
know
I
any
get.
event that I wasn't perhaps drunk at. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like all the work went into making the event good, and then during the event, it was just have fun.
I mean, like I remember, like when I first started with you, like just like okay, go to. I mean, shout out to everybody out there that didn't go to college, but also did go to college. Just that they're just trying their best to kind of get by. I didn't go to college, except for going to UH and certain places to flyer or poster and get girls' numbers or emails, like to invite them to our party. And I mean, it was cool. It was awesome. And you send me out like every week. Okay, go to UH. You gotta go do this. We need at least 50 emails. Like, and we would do it. And the events were awesome.
It's crazy because like like I came under Ronnie them, and from what he taught me was kind of the same thing. Like it's like you just gotta do it. Like if you're gonna promote in this business, you gotta know, you gotta be confident. And he would just say, here's some passes, go talk to people and get them to come. So I'd kind of do the same thing with you guys, and I would be like, here's some passes, go get people to come. And oh, you'd be like the Pied Piper and just bring a load of people, and helping you learn the industry was fun for me, because at one point it was like people would talk to you about stuff, and then it would be okay, and then he got it. I don't have to worry about things, or things were under control because of what you learned being around the industry for so long. And it was cool to see the development. And the same with Taylor. Like Taylor right now is killing it, and it's because the way the three of us worked together and helped each other out was kind of cool. And it was cool to see the development.
Yeah, by the time that we reached a few years in, and Taylor became in, and it was us three, like it was like a super awesome situation. You know, like we spent a lot of time together, even though we're like on different age brackets a little bit. Like we don't need to get into there, but I mean, it was super fun, and it was smart. We made the right decisions, and sometimes the wrong decisions, but I mean, for the most part, we put ourselves out there every single time, and put it all out there a couple of times, and whether it works or not, we're going for it.
That's one thing about working with you, is the risk that we take. It was we were all in, and yeah, we made some good choices. We had some bad choices, but it was always, we were always all in. Like we always put everything, all the chips on the table, and threw the dice, and was like, let's see what happens.
even like when you know, like Taylor initially kind of getting into the DJs, we were doing stuff at like Hush and Bonsai. Bonsai was a dope event.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite events we did was Passport, because it was that revolving event.
It was a different spot every week.
Different venue every week of the month, and that was a really different type of event for most party goers, or whatever should I say.
That was when we started teaming up with Level H. Shout out to Hanson, because that was his idea he brought to us, and that was such an awesome idea, and it kind of created an atmosphere that changed every week. So we didn't know what we were getting into. So it was like, oh, today this week's gonna be crazy. This week's gonna be kind of mellow. This week's gonna be a club event. Like it was a moving party every Friday, and like it was kind of cool to see everyone followed us to each event. It wasn't that hard to promote, but it was crazy.
And
No Way Out was
No
with
Way Out
us.
with Tony and Cliff, Brian, and what time there's Brian, even the boys from Level 8, you know, like with Pono and Brian, them and Reese, all eventually going to Vegas and everything. They were still with us at the time.
Yeah,
Chais was cool.
Chais was super cool.
And then Oceans happened, and then that was just Oasis became the thing.
Yeah, so we were revolving this party, and then one of our spots or stops during the rotation was Oceans, and they liked what we did so much that they gave us a contract to just stay there on Fridays, and we created Oasis, and that was when Brian Simpsons from Furious Styles came on, and that's when we had a long run of just one. I think that was the longest Friday event that you did, right? Like that was a long one, huh?
Yeah, we're on a tear of long runs for a minute, like with Oceans and Bonsai, and then we switched. I was on Saturday, and then Saturday turned into, from Bonsai I went to
Paparazzi. Yeah,
and then we moved Oceans to Tsukiji's eventually. We got that, and then that lasted for a minute too. Man,
yeah, that was a long one too.
That was a lot of years of good events.
A lot of alcohol.
A lot of alcohol. And a lot of madness. How much can we say on this thing? Because there's so much.
We can say whatever, bro. I'm just not trying to sell you out.
So much things that we're leaving out. So many things.
Yeah.
Gonna be
Remember
all
when you were Santa Claus since it's Christmas time?
almost Christmas time. It was around the same time. Was it your birthday?
Yep.
I left mid party, went to the parking lot, changed my outfit into a Santa costume. Somehow acquired two women on each arm going back to the event.
Okay, this is not what happened. Like, first of all, we're like, Chris, you got to get in a Santa suit. And you're like, no. And we're like, Chris, you got to be Santa. It's my birthday. And you're like, okay. So then you went to the parking lot, and then you come rolling up with all these, like, this long line, and you walked in front of everybody, and you had these two hot girls on each arm. And I'm just like, what's going on? And he's in his Santa suit, and yeah, you just entered the club like the I don't know what that was going on, and it was oh yeah,
Not like no, not like them, like that.
And then I think we found you in the bushes with the Santa suit.
I later had sex in the Santa suit that night. Yes.
That's the one.
I later had sex in the Santa suit right outside the club. That happened.
In the bushes, and we seen it. And
bushes, it was like towards the bushes.
What I'm thinking is if some children seen you, what their thoughts about Santa would be, but it was a nighttime
3
event.
o'clock in the morning.
Not many people see Santa having sex in the bushes. I'm just saying.
I mean, I'm pretty confident the security guard saw me, but I mean.
Yeah, there's probably some video from that. Taylor probably has it.
I mean, he has too much videos.
If Taylor ever wants to blackmail anybody, like he got the footage of you for sure.
I was a single young man at an event that we were throwing, and somebody wanted to have sex with Santa Claus, so I obliged.
Hey, Merry Christmas.
It's the season. Just the season.
What's that song?
It's the season.
My dick in a box.
Jingle balls.
And now everything just went from there to here. Now look what happened.
Yeah, well, we can get into those stories, but
we don't.
Well, you definitely saved me from a lot of situations for sure.
Yeah, I got drink or water thrown on me because I tried to block from you.
Well, see, that's the thing. I got punched in the face by a girl, and you were in between us, so I kind of blame you for that. Like, how did she get around you? I hit hard too, man. That chick punched me in the eye, and
I don't remember.
Like,
then you threw your drink on her, but you missed her and got it on me. So.
Well, that's because I didn't know what to do. I just got punched in the face, and I couldn't punch her back because she's a girl. So I had a drink, so I threw it at her, and it missed.
It was just
that was a horrible night for me. She ripped my shirt.
It was fine.
What is that?
Get a new shirt. I mean, it was ice cubes and water. I was fine. I was probably drunk anyway. I probably forgot about it like 5 minutes later.
Yeah, I didn't. Had a lump on my eye. My shirt was ripped.
What? That was the last event that we did at that venue.
Yes, that was the.
We never.
Was it Sorrento's?
I think it was
top of the eye. We're like 90,000 feet up.
Yeah, there's only one way to leave, and it's like the one theater. Get somebody out of there.
I definitely remember that. So our events were pretty crazy. I mean, I think we all have a share of unfortunate incidents at our events, but we had a lot of good times and a lot of good memories. I think one of the best memories I have promoting with you and Taylor was our first concert at Aloha Laulea. And during the start of the last act, I think it was 3+, and I have a picture of it. The three of us were standing on a stage, and we collaborated with Raymond Ho, Ray Jr. But as a company of us together, that was the first big concert that we did, and I just remember standing on the stage thinking like, holy shit, all these people came. Like, what? How did that in. It was such a good feeling. I was so glad to share it with both you and Taylor, because that's something I'll never forget. I have the picture hanging up in my wall from that, and yeah, that was for me one of the pinnacle moments of doing events with you guys. That was super cool.
Yeah. I remember us wanting to especially me because I was doing that local stuff before. Remember having it in the back of my head for a while, and we were doing a lot of more like club stuff and like 21 and over dressed up, and we did 18 and over as well. But that was pretty awesome for Ray to kind of come to us with that, and for us to jump on and collaborate with that event. That was, I think it was sold out like at 5,000 people, and yeah, definitely to be up there with you guys, where that was a new feeling for all of us.
Yeah,
and it was incredible. Felt really good to go up there and see all the hard work that we put in probably for a couple of months turn out like that, and be proud of the success that we had, and then see everybody be down for all the local acts, because I believe it was like 18 bands for $18.
Yep, that was the slogan. 18 bands for $18.
3 venues, six artists on each stage.
Yeah, that was we were running around like crazy people. That was fun though. It was fun.
And I think I was running one of the stages, and just with the MCs and stuff, meeting more industry people and creating more relationships because of those events with the concerts and the block parties. With like shout out to Aaron McCamey. That guy's a good dude, man.
Oh yeah.
And that was just another level of what we were able to accomplish when we were all working together, for sure.
Yeah, I remember doing stuff at the Shell. We did Major Radio. We did the last birthday bash. We did a few other concerts with Ray, and like meeting all these artists and getting to know them, like, because they're with us all week. We even travel with them to outer islands. So like for me, it was cool. Like we're meeting all these artists. Like we get to cruise with Common Kings. We get to cruise with Catch a Fire, and I mean Tribal Seeds and stuff. It was kind of surreal, and it was cool to know these people on a personal level, and people that we listen to, and it was such a cool experiences. Like I always say, like there's a lot of things we did in our life together that no one has ever, like, it's not normal shit. Like we experienced some crazy things, and doing those concerts were just unreal. I remember just taking the bands to bars and like going out with them and just hanging out with the bands like they're our friends, and it was super good fun. Although you wanted to lick the guitar player from Tribal Seeds.
I was like the older guitar player from before. That wasn't. He just was bad timing.
I really thought you were gonna knock him out. Like we had to kind of like.
We had too much stuff to do, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, I don't think they would have played for any more of our concerts if you knocked him out.
Yeah, because then, I think they kicked him out after because he just needed the attitude. I don't remember exactly, but didn't we do the Bob Fest with them afterwards?
Did we? Was it with them?
I think so. I did. Well, I'm not sure.
Yes, it was. It was.
No, because the Bob Fest was at Lower Tower, and then that happened.
Yeah.
At Waikiki Shell.
Yeah.
That incident happened at Waikiki Shell.
Yeah, that was in the back of the Shell.
Yeah. They wanted to go someplace, and we had an after party at someplace, and we were running around like crazy, but they wanted to go to somewhere else, and yeah. I remember that. I forget what comment he made, but he made a comment, and it was a little disrespectful.
So you're gonna slam dance him in the back of the Shell.
Maintain our focus of the event finishing our job.
We did. It was awesome. The
jumping to outer islands was super cool. Like
yeah,
Maui, Big Island, and doing stuff over there was different, and different crowds.
It's crazy. Like the the people in Big Island, especially like the crowds in Big Island, they treated us so good. Like they were like so thankful that we brought people there to entertain them. They were like thankful and grateful, especially in Kona. That was super good fun.
I have that one memory of Kona, which is pretty cool. Like, I don't know what was going on, but I think it was a Halloween one when we did with Jay Bogan on Ohea.
Mm.
And something happened with the sound. And luckily, Ray's former electrician and stuff. So he went and figured it out. Like, or else the whole event would have been done. The sound guys that we had couldn't figure it out. And he went in there and saved the day. And it was like, oh, super awesome. Yeah, right on, Ray.
What I remember for that concert is that they were giving away these J-Boog skate decks.
What you talking about?
Yeah, so I'll refresh your memory. So they were giving away these nice J-Boog skate decks. And I remember that you were collecting skate decks. You probably still are. And I remember you going like, oh, yup, I want one of those.
We took the skate deck.
Yeah, that's what happened.
It's my house hanging on my wall. Sorry, everybody. You didn't get a skate deck. It's mine.
Hey, that's the perks of throwing the event. I remember throwing CDs off of the stage at Shell. Remember that? I was throwing them out like ninja stars. I think I hit somebody.
See, that's what you don't do right there.
I know. Yeah, I got in trouble for that.
What was the one where I don't know which event it was where we had the glow sticks and then I don't know whose idea it was to like throw like everybody started throwing them at each other and throwing them forward. People were getting whacked. That was bad. So
it was
a great idea maybe like initially, and then afterwards it's like, oh no, this is in hindsight. Don't do that.
Well, they gave Ray gave everybody in the whole front glow sticks. They're blue glow sticks, and if you remember, it was Ho'anua's reunion or farewell concert or whatever, and they have that song Blue Light.
Oh.
So when that song came on, everybody cracked their glow stick because it was blue.
Super
and
awesome.
then
amazing.
And then started throwing it up, and the whole front of the shell was just flying glow sticks. And I'm like, oh yes, this. Yeah, I'm like, I was thinking this is gonna be a liability. We're gonna get in trouble for this. It looked cool on the pictures though. They look like Star Wars.
You been watching the new shows? You watching the new stuff?
Oh yeah, Mandalorian. Yeah, been watching that. Yeah, you need to check that out.
All right, switch subjects.
But yeah, those concerts are crazy. The last birthday bash was pretty cool. Like I still have the poster with it autographed by everybody that was there, and for it being the last one and having gone to those from a little kid time, so it was ran by who was Events Entertainment? What was that guy's name?
Who was doing it before?
Yeah. Rick Schneider. So Rick Schneider was doing it before, and then he gave it to Ray to do the last one.
Right.
And then we collaborated for the last birthday bash. And like that was kind of cool. Like we're part of the last birthday bash. Has Artist Groove Network on the top of the poster.
Hell yeah, that was cool. Because I remember that too. Like going back when you could take coolers into the show and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Rick was a cool dude. That's the one from he owned Aloha Tower, that area.
Yep, waterfront. Yep.
You always had like a cowboy hat on or something, right?
Yeah. He's always cool. He's always cool.
Oh, Cowboys.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, Niners are gonna play them this year, and it's gonna be a battle of the second string, but we'll see what happens with that.
It's not gonna be a battle at all. We're gonna get demolished, I'm sure.
I hope so, because I went to California twice to watch the Cowboys and Niners play with you, and I seen my team get demolished by your team sitting next to you twice.
I know. I remember.
Yeah.
Vividly. Us going down. I think it was the second game. What year was this? I forget. But we were going down the stairs trying to get to our seat because you got those seats from what are the names?
Rick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So many Ricks.
Yep.
Yeah, they're awesome, and we got those awesome seats, and we're walking down to them, and the game had already started. Right, it took a while to get into the gates,
Yep.
And as we're walking down the stairs, Zeke was running a touchdown right into the end zone.
Yeah, right in front of my face.
Yeah. And then
Yeah, that
I
was.
mean, like a dickhead, I guess. I just immediately started cheering right next to you.
Well, I mean, that was your team, but yeah, that was rough to watch. It was kind of cool because at least my friends like were happy because we came like a bunch of you guys came with us that were Cowboys fans. But yeah, I'm never gonna forget that, dude, and I will have my retribution. Believe me.
Oh,
And it's not
fact.
gonna be when we beat you and we're watching at home. We're gonna be in the stadium and our team's gonna smash the Cowboys, and I'm gonna let you know that this is the retribution at that moment.
Um, well, I think you need it because I think after we won, I think it gave you Yams and our other boys from the Bay some cards,
Yeah, I still have it.
some sympathy cards.
Yep.
So
I'm
sorry for your
collecting all
loss.
the receipts. Yep. You gave me a sorry for your loss card. And that
That was
means
fantastic.
you premeditated it because I know you didn't buy it in Cali.
I bought a bunch of sympathy cards from Hallmark, ready, knowing that we were gonna win, and it was fantastic. It worked out perfectly.
Yeah, we took some cool trips together. We got to see BJ lose a few times.
That was
We got to see Russell and Lewis win. That was always cool. Watching them fight was always awesome. But snowboarding, we got to snowboard a bunch of times. That was good fun. That's what I can't wait to do is once we can travel and do that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm getting older. I'm not gonna know how long I can be able to go down a mountain at Mach 10.
back then. The hit me in the
The
knee.
hit, yeah. I'm gonna have to wrap myself in Nerf first.
Over it.
But
yeah,
man, I missed that though. That was one of my favorite things to do is snowboard. Like and go on trips. Like we went on some fun trips together.
that was in Washington when we went to watch BJ and Nick Diaz.
Yep.
That was a pretty crazy. I remember arguing with somebody in the bathroom, like, guys like, oh yeah, I think we're all wearing Defend Hawaii shirts, and somebody was like, oh, BJ's gonna get knocked out. I was like, when does it happen? When? No, it's not gonna happen. You're out of your damn mind. Argued with him for like 2 minutes while we were both at the urinal. And sure enough, he didn't get knocked out. But I mean, he lost. But I mean, it was still.
What I remember from that trip is you running around naked in the snow.
I wasn't naked.
Well, you weren't clothed.
I had my underwear on. In hindsight, it was a bad idea. I mean, running it was like 30 degrees. Afterwards, I was barefoot and my feet were really on fire. Like I was like, oh my god. And thank you to Lee and Sharisa because I believe they sponsored part of the snowboarding and they're super kind to have us all in their house.
Oh yeah, a bunch of ruckus Hawaii people.
And they just let everybody in out of love, and I appreciate that. A shout out to my friends Lee Perenata and Sharisa Perenata.
Yep, thank you for letting us take over your house for that week.
Yeah, played a bunch of drinking games. I got drunk and
a lot of drinking games.
And ran outside.
That seems to be with the normal. Well, not so much, but you getting drunk and doing something crazy is kind of the normal.
You're lucky we don't have alcohol right now.
You're lucky. We can do this right after this is done. We take some shots right after this is done.
I'm game. But yeah, that trip was we went snowboarding. Where did we go? Crystal Mountain on Washington.
I don't even remember. Somewhere in Washington.
I was trying to run to look for a bear, and then somebody's like, "They're hibernating," and I was like, oh, "I'm stupid. Sorry."
We had a lot of people with us that one. We had like Yams from the Bay, Taylor. I think Real Deal Reed was with us.
Reed.
Your brother guys. Who
Yeah.
else? Hanson was with us for that one. Yep.
Yeah.
Ray even came for that one.
Yeah, we met
He
him.
stayed with us, but there's there.
He got us the tickets we went to watch Seattle
Cardinals.
and Cardinals. And
Yeah.
Seahawks put a whooping, man. That was
Yeah.
it was like 40-0 at the end of the first quarter. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. It was a bad one.
That was nuts.
So what else is going on with you nowadays, man? Like you're just pretty much at the store?
Yeah, pretty much just trying to work right now and trying to be, I mean, follow the rules, follow the guidelines, and what's happening with everything, like not travel because just putting people at risk. Um, I wish it wasn't this way. I don't think that it's as serious it, as they're making it out to be, but I mean, it is what it is. And I just want to travel.
Yeah, because you were getting into it for a little bit. I mean, you were taking huge trips like out of country and staying away for like a couple months and stuff. And that was I know that's what we talked about. Your goal was to be gone for like a year or so and kind of
Uh,
put a damper on this whole thing.
that's kind of where I went, like in my mind, I guess. I don't know if you ever heard, but there's a saying or something like that every 7 years you kind of change, like you change a little bit,
Yes.
your personality or your goals, maybe your overall feeling about yourself, your um, just all your you. And I after that, like years, like what was 8 9 years of throwing events and stuff and being a crazy man. uh, and and actually like while doing that, like failed relationships, things weren't working out because it was hard with the job that we had. I realized after watching the Secret Life of Walter Mitty, uh, just go out and do something. So I decided to spend my 30th birthday on the Eiffel Tower, and I just went and did it. Went to 9 different countries, did met incredible people, had some really incredible experiences. Worked on a farm in Portugal, basically living out of like a dirty caravan, pooping in the woods, working on cleaning stables, chopping wood, working on a garden. It was incredible. I got to spend my birthday on Eiffel Tower though, and Paris is a little sketchy, but I mean, the overall experience of traveling is just I haven't gotten rid of that bug yet, so I still have a lot that I want to do and a lot of places I want to see. And
But you ran with the bulls on that trip too, huh?
I ran with the bulls in Pamplona, Spain.
Okay, I want to know how about that. Like, I always thought like that was
Sketchy.
crazy.
Sketchy. No, like
Like how sketchy.
honestly, it's a tradition. I mean, it's kind of messed up. I mean, some people don't really care for it because they afterwards the bulls it's a big festival, traditional, like but people go that main place, Pamplona, people go over there. It's like a tourist attraction and people just party. So places glass all over the ground. It's like could be blood, I don't know. There's alcohol everywhere. It's all red and white, and that whole scene. But went out there, watched a bull fight first for my brother's birthday, and then the next morning we did the bull run. You have to be there at 8 in the morning. They line you up in a certain spot, and then you look at the sign and it just has like people on one side of the line and then bulls on the other. It's pretty funny. And you start from there, and then once there's a bunch of people. They have a what is it called? I'm not sure, like a prayer or something, like some traditional thing. I believe it's a prayer for San Fermin. I didn't do enough research on it. I'm sorry, but basically you start from that line, and then they shoot off a gun, and that means they let the bulls go, and they shoot off another one to tell you gotta go, and then you just stay out of the way, I guess. There's this one section, I forgot what they called it, but that's where the bulls like turn. They go down, turn like this, and then before they go back to the arena, and that's like where people get pinned and just get nailed. Unfortunately for us, I went and we didn't read that there's different ranches on different days. So the day that we went, we had a ranch that was banned for like 4 years because they have too aggressive. Their bulls are too aggressive. So the first day, this is the second day of the week-long festival, and the first day, I guess they had like 6 minor injuries, like just like go to a nurse, get touched up, maybe like a scrape or a bruise. Our day had 6 major injuries, like 20 20 something minor injuries. None of it wasn't me, but one dude like lost a testicle.
What?
One guy got punctured like in his like rib. Like those bulls don't mess with. They're huge. They're crazy. Like, I mean, I'll be honest. I didn't wait till all of them passed me. I had
You're out.
one or two past me, and I sprinted all the way to the arena, like as fast as I could. Jumped to the side. I was like, I'm out of here. And then I didn't know that once you get into the arena, you can't go anywhere. You're stuck.
And what, the bulls show up over there?
Well, yeah, the bulls come running through the gate into the arena, but then they push them straight ahead. But everybody's all in there, and then you get stuck in there. Everybody that made it, you get stuck in there, and then they bring out little bulls that aren't like I guess the ones that are still growing, but they have like those things on top of their what is that?
Horns.
Horns?
I don't know. Bull horns. Yeah, bullhorn.
Antlers.
Sounds smart. Right?
Antlers. No, antlers are deers.
Or tusks.
No, tusk is like your mouth. It's horns, bro. Bullhorn.
Bullhorn.
Sounds right. That's what I said.
Pointers. I don't know. Whatever it was. They have that all taped up, and it's like all like so it can't like hurt people too much. And then they let them free for a couple minutes each. They have a whole bunch of them come out. One came too close to me. I panicked. I jumped over the wall, ate crap, and like put a big dent in my shin. And I got back up, and the top person like that was doing like security was like, "Get back in," and they shoved me back over the wall.
What?
Leave.
And you signed up for that?
I signed up for that, and I mean, at one point I tried to whack the bull's butt, but then in hindsight that would have been really bad.
Because he would have kicked you.
Turned around and would have tossed me right over the wall. But it was a super awesome experience, and I mean, now that I know a little bit more, like, I kind of want to do it again.
I'd be down.
I'm gonna have to work off this COVID weight, but I mean,
yeah. My theory is I don't gotta run fast. I just gotta run faster than you.
Damn it. That was a pretty cool year. I got to do that year, and the end of the year with our boy Yams from San Fran. I went on an open water shark dive with him later.
Oh, that's right.
I did two of those things, but that one I kind of panicked and I jumped back in the boat.
Yeah, I heard about that story. So, okay, so to say when they do open up again, what would be like your destination of choice?
I immediately want to go back to Portugal because I just kind of, I mean, as I am Hawaiian and Kanaka, I am also Portuguese. I've been trying to learn Portuguese, so eu falo um pouco de português. And I want to go back there, kind of experience more and kind of learn more and possibly even try to buy some property out there. I don't know, we'll see. But besides that, I do want to visit Switzerland. It looks pretty incredible. There's this town in Afghanistan I want to visit, Bamyan. I would like to maybe dive back into southeastern Asia. I went to Vietnam before, and it was really eye-opening, and I'd like to go and maybe even to Cambodia or Laos and then kind of learn a little bit more. But I got to go to Bali with my brother at some point, so we'll see. We'll see.
That should be fun. Well, for me, I'm down for some of those trips if I'm available. I definitely want to travel. Honestly, like for me, I want to go to Disneyland with my daughter, but like outside of the country, I want to go to Rome. I want to check out like that area, Europe and stuff like that. I have never been. I've been to Asia and stuff. I went to Japan. I always wanted to see like the Colosseum. I wanted to see where the Mona Lisa is and pretty much everything in the Da Vinci Code.
Just follow that whole guideline.
Yeah. No, I was always fascinated by that stuff. So if I had a choice, I would probably pick that. But Japan is super fun. I like Japan.
Well, when you go to Rome, I'm definitely coming with you because I left the cell phone over there when I was there in 2016. I lost it, and I maybe I can come and find it. I don't know.
If you find it, I'll be impressed.
Lost a bunch
Just
of
find
memories
my
there.
find my iPhone.
How?
Nokia. What kind of phone? Nokia.
No. I lost. I had two iPhones on that trip just in case, and I lost both of them. First one I lost in Rome, and then the second one I lost in Ibiza. Both times drunk.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's I guess I'd be down for that. I kind of do want to go snowboarding again, but Switzerland, don't they have the Swiss Alps? Maybe we could snowboard there.
Maybe bungee jump off.
I'd be down for that too. Something crazy. Yeah.
But we definitely got to go back to the U.S. and watch some football games and.
Yep. I owe you a trip to Dallas, so I'll go watch the Cowboys lose to the Niners in your stadium this time.
I don't know what they're losing to the Niners though. But,
yeah.
But I'll come with you guys to Disney World. How was that?
Oh, in Florida, we'll be down for that.
Aria, let's go to Disney World.
She'd be down for anything Disney. Aria is all about Disney. But yeah, we've been going for a while, man. Like I wanted to bring something up to jar your memory on, since it was Halloween a few weeks ago. I always like this story because it makes me feel good, but we weren't doing an event that Halloween, and for some reason my parents were gone, so we went from my apartment to my parents' house to watch movies, and we're gonna pass out candy. I remember telling you like, oh, okay, we're off tonight, so let's just do something low key, and we're like, okay, we're just pass out candy at trick-or-treaters. And I remember you were sitting on the couch. What is that?
There was no trick-or-treaters. You're like this neighborhood with all these people, and I think maybe one group of people came and grabbed candy.
Yeah, we had a load of candy. But I remember you kept saying, oh, my eye, I have a sty in my eye. And I was thinking like, okay, and you were saying like, oh man, in my family, if I have a sty in our eye, then that means somebody in our family's pregnant. Or I don't know how you worded it, or how did you word it?
My grandpa, yeah, like I brought up the fact that I felt like I was getting one, or I had one, and letting you know that, yeah, like, oh, my grandpa, when he gets a sty, like, I mean, somebody in our family is usually pregnant. I think, I'm pretty sure it was all accurate, 100% every single time that happened to him. And so I was just letting you know that was a thing, and I was like, oh, not thinking anything at all, and just kind of brought that information up to you out of random, and then
and then that maybe within the hour I find out I'm having a baby. And I remember finding out that I'm having a baby, and I'm like, hey Chris, your grandpa's sty eye theory is working on you now, because I'm gonna be a daddy. And that was the first moment that I knew I was having a baby, which was Aria, which is my daughter now. And like, it was pretty cool to share that with you at that time, and how it played out. Like, I just can't be around you if you have a sty anymore.
I haven't. I think I had one recently.
Oh no.
I gotta maybe do some research on that. But yeah,
maybe it's your brother then.
that was definitely a pretty cool coincidence, I want to say.
Yeah.
Or some type of magic, like I was blessed to be able to be with you at that moment, and blessed that you were open to have me play a role in Aria's life. And I mean, I love.
Yep. You're the godfather. Yeah. She loves her Uncle Chris. Well, I think that
forever. So future guys, are we watching?
Oh yeah, she's not dating till she's 30, but that's another story. But I think so. I've been talking with Taylor and you, and it seems to me, which is kind of makes me super happy, because I never really brought it up. We tried maybe a few times, but between you and Taylor, both of you guys on separate occasions and together are talking about us doing another event, a bigger event, maybe once a year or something like that. And for me, it was always like, okay, I bring the ideas up to you guys. This time it was you guys bringing it to me, and that got me excited because doing these events, like I lost a lot of excitement, but partly is because we're not doing it together. I'm not going to do another big event unless it's with you and Taylor. So I'm just putting it out there for people to know that we are going to do something, and I'm excited about it. I'm super happy that you guys brought it up to me. It makes me feel like it's important for you guys. So I think that's going to be something awesome. And Taylor's always been like all about doing new things. So it's like, if we're going to collaborate for an event, I'm excited for that. And it's something that you guys been bringing up to me on a few occasions. And I just want you to know and let everybody else know that I'm down. And when we do, it's going to be something well thought out, and it's going to be something big. I'm not trying to do a little club thing with you guys.
We've done the go-go's and DJs and all that stuff, and I mean they're still relevant around the world for clubs. But yeah, I definitely am looking forward to having a Artist Groove Network reunion.
Yep. Reunion high. That's what it is, huh?
Reunion high. It's gonna
Hopefully
be.
that
I'm
happens soon.
excited. We got some meetings to do and some ideas to bring to the table, and just overall, I think 2021 is gonna be perfect timing for all of that. Like,
Yep.
everybody's been staying indoors for 2020. Like, it's been a rough one, and when we're ready to unleash, everyone's gonna be ready to unleash.
Yeah. I definitely feel definitely motivated for that, for sure. So we'll look forward to seeing what happens with that. But yeah, I'm putting it out there in the universe that we're gonna do something, and it's gonna be me and Taylor, and it's gonna be something special for sure.
Let's get it.
All right, man. Well, we've been going for a while. I think what's next? The question of the week.
Before
What's our question? Oh yeah. What's up?
Can I mention that funny Defend Hawaii story that I told you, Tad? So I can tell Chris.
Yeah, go ahead, man. I want to hear it.
So,
just tell it to me again.
Chris, so I would say, the year that Ige was governor, so the inauguration, we had to film it for the TV broadcast, and the day before was like the dress rehearsal for it, the rehearsal, right? Of them doing the whole,
Going through the whole. Yeah.
So the lieutenant governor, his lieutenant governor at the time was Sean Tsui from Maui.
Oh, okay.
Old guy, but when he was standing up on the stage and whatnot, doing all the cues what he's got to do, he was wearing a jacket, so shorts, slippers, but he's wearing a Defend Hawaii shirt. And I was like, oh, how's this guy? How's this hammer? Wearing that shit.
Nice.
Wearing that shit at the Capitol. He knew what's up. He knew.
Yeah. I think at the time I had a friend who was working with Lieutenant Governor or working for Lieutenant Governor. He also worked for Senator Danny Noy and some other things. But so he was supporting us and stuff. I'm not sure how Lieutenant Governor had that. Maybe my friend put it in his ear. I'm not sure. But shout out to those guys, and shout out to I'm calling him the future Senator Rufino Dan. That guy's awesome.
Oh, he could be the guy.
But that's super awesome. And you were filming that, and he was
we waited to do it for the TV broadcast, but I just it was the day before, and I just thought it was super funny. Like, oh, how's this guy? AK-47 and all that shirt.
that was we got rid of that design in 2015, and we never turned back, and we've been trying to change things up for a minute, and we're happy with where we've got, got some new stuff right here. This is coming out pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get that one, dude.
A big point out war, with a bunch of other designs, and we're loaded with new products. So to finish it off, shop.defendhawaii.com. We
Yeah. Or
support
go to
local.
No One and go visit Chris in the store.
No, please don't. Please don't. It takes away from my day. I get distracted for like half an hour at a time because I'm easily distracted.
Yeah, when I go in there, it's like I'm going in there to get a shirt, and then I'm home like 3 hours later, and Arya's like, "Dad, I thought you were just gonna get a shirt." I'm like, "Well, Uncle Chris was there."
But yeah, like the whole idea right now, I really feel is strong with like supporting local, because I mean our entire economy kind of runs through that, like support a local business. The local business and workers from there are able to make a living and support other local businesses, whether it be a grocery store or just everything in general. Like, it needs to be more self-sustainable here in Hawaii, and we support too many mainland brands and mainland things and mainland ideas, and we hope that everyone will kind of tend to come back and buy locals.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Well, oh yeah, for sure. All right, man. Well, it's time for the question of the week, and it's our Thanksgiving episode since this is gonna drop. So hopefully, it's a Thanksgiving question.
Yeah. So the question of the week, you guys, is: what are 3 things you are thankful for?
Oh, I guess that is Thanksgiving. So you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I'm definitely thankful for my family. Just being supportive in general, like, my brother, my grandma, my cousins, I got a big family. Last name is Meheula, Hawaiian, Portuguese. We're all over the place, like for both sides, mom and dad, and just thankful for the way I was able to be raised. I feel like I got raised right, and I'm thankful for being able to have the life that I have, and the mindset that I have, and be given the opportunity to think different than just a normal. I'm thankful for my friends. I'm thankful for you, Thaddeus, and everyone else who has my back and supports me. The lunch table gang, my boys, just everybody we've worked with over the years, my friends, Taylor, everybody. And then I'm thankful for Above the Bridge podcast.
That's a plug.
ATVpod.com.
Yeah. It's been damn, now I gotta be thankful for Defend Hawaii. For me, I'm thankful for my family, and especially at this time, like I'm going through a few situations where our families come together, and I'm including my inner circle of friends. I consider them family, so I'm definitely thankful for that. It's been a huge part of my life, and being together with my family on special occasions has been the staple of the person that I am. I'm thankful for my daughter because she makes me a better person, and because of her, I've changed for the good, and I see myself in her so much that it's super cool. I'm thankful and blessed to have her in my life. And of course, I'm thankful to be living in Hawaii. For me, the person that I am, I don't think I could have adapted to anywhere that doesn't have this aloha vibe, that doesn't have the smiles on the street or the shakas to random people. It's like I go anywhere else, it's not like this. So I'm thankful to be living in Hawaii, and I try to on the daily not take it for granted, because sometimes you do. Like, it's just my life, your life, you're living here, you don't appreciate it. But I'm taking a lot of steps to appreciate it more, because I think the way people are in Hawaii, that aloha can spark or seed it throughout the world. And if that's the case, then we got to live it here first. And I'm glad to be a part of it and glad to be living it. And I'm very thankful, because I mean, my soul could have been dropped off on any part of this planet But God decided He's gonna put my soul on this little speck, and I'm thankful for that.
Oh, you definitely want that answer.
No, wait, you did. You said ATV podcast.
It's the most amazing, like, Jesus Christ.
But like we said, you can find Chris on Instagram. It's Mr. Meheula. Shout out to Defend Hawaii. They sponsored me. They sponsored Artist Group Network. They sponsored this podcast, and they always been there for me. They were the only brand that would. What was it when we had ecosystems? They only put Defend Hawaii in our store on the west side at that time. And shout out to Mike B. He always supported everything we did, and I owe that guy a lot, and I have a lot of respect for him. So shout out to Mike B. You can find them on Instagram, Defend Hawaii, correct?
Yep, at Defend Hawaii.
And website shop.defendhawaii.com.
And the No One store is at VS No One, like verse No One.
All right.
ANOW1.
All right. You can find us at atbpod.com, on Instagram, Above the Bridge Podcast, YouTube. All the videos from all these podcasts is on our YouTube channel, Above the Bridge Pod. And happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Thank you for tuning in and listening to the podcast. And that was pretty good, huh? What do you think?
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I feel like all we did was talk about memories and how awesome.
Well, see, yeah, how awesome we are, yo.
Like, oh yeah, listen to all cool things that we've done.
So my idea for us to do another one is I want you, me, and Taylor to do a podcast together, and it'll be more like getting into like the naughty stuff and the more crazier situations that we had promoting. And I think we got to be in person for that, and a few drinks, and we can open that can of worms together. It'll be documented.
Yeah. It'll be during our meeting for the reunion.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming on, man, and I know you're busy, especially this time of year, and I love you, bro. You've been there for me for a lot of different things, and love you, choke, bro.
Love you, Aria. I know you're around there somewhere.
Yep, she's right there.
And right on, B-boy. Was it Boy Band?
Boy
John.
Band John.
Thank you, guys.
All right, I'm thankful for you, John. You're helping me out with this show, and you believed in my idea for this. What is that?
What is that? Oh, I guess.
But yeah, I'm thankful for Boy Band John for helping me out with this podcast, because I took this idea and brought it to him, and he was down with it. And man, it's hard to find people that support you, and I appreciate you, man.
You were talking about this for a minute, and to see you out here doing it, I'm super stoked for you.
Thank you, man. All right, follow Boy Band John at BBJ808 on Instagram.
No.
Go watch his crazy videos. All right, man. That's it. I think we're done. As always, shout out to the Artist Group Network. Aloha. Thank you, brothers.
I'm bringing a bottle of wine. I'll be right over.
Bring it over.